Can you tell me, what is consumer health, safety, and wellness? What is the difference between these three pieces?
In the field that we work with a lot of individuals who are vulnerable and who cannot make decisions for themselves or recognize signs or symptoms of depression or even a cold. And so it's important for us to recognize those items for them. So safety being, if they walk across the street, do they know to stop at a stop sign? Wellness, are they mentally stable? That wasn't good. Are they mentally clear? And do they have a good feeling about themselves and about their lives? And all three of those pieces play an important role in how somebody sees life and their outlook on life.
Okay,
Perfect.
so don't do that.
Yeah, don't react at all to yourself, because it really did sound good, so I don't know why you
So even if you feel it
grimaced.
sounded bad,
Okay.
Just keep
my-
going.
Yeah,
They don't want to
Okay.
use it if
Don't
it was
tell you when
bad,
to
but
stop.
it sounded good.
I
And
think-
then,
Natural
and then
for
you
people
did
to,
that.
do that kind of thing, kind of
Okay.
think about their thought, change it up a little bit,
Okay.
so
Margaret?
pause or something,
I know we
you know.
call it consumer
Okay.
health, safety, and wellness, but I don't think that that word is getting
So
phased
don't
out.
say consumer.
No, but I don't know yet what
Okay.
we're really gonna
But they're
call
not
them.
gonna hear me, so,
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not
Never
here
hear
for
her.
her.
Okay,
This is just
Yeah.
her talking.
client or the people we work with or
People
however.
we work with.
Yep.
Okay.
Get her paraphrase you so that if you want to use her,
That was
because we
good.
don't hear you, you know how we do that?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
yeah.
Where she, so she, her
I
thing
thought you
stands
did a
alone.
good job with that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just,
So the way
Stated you right.
you
What we did
started was
originally
great.
out here, or what
No,
we
that
did
was
here.
good, what
Okay.
you did.
Okay.
You should have set it up a little bit, so it wasn't like you were answering your question, so you could be a
You like that
standalone.
ending?
You did a really good job, so
Okay.
just keep doing it.
Okay.
I can't remember what the ending was.
okay.
But yes, I thought you did a great job of covering all three, so that's
Okay.
good. Okay, so we're gonna try again. All right?
Same question.
And
Same
it's okay
question.
if you answer differently.
Yep, done
Okay.
that. We'll go back and
Uh-oh,
find the one
hair.
we like best. Okay,
That's it. You got it. I received that too, right?
Yeah.
ready?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about consumer health, safety, and wellness. So can you tell me, what is the difference between health, safety, and wellness, and why are they important?
As caregivers, we are responsible with maintaining an individual's health, safety, and wellness. They're
It's okay, we can start again.
was it health, safety, and wellness, or did I say the wrong
Doesn't
three
matter.
words?
No,
Okay.
those were the right words, and you can say them in any order that you want.
I'll throw this out. Everybody's chair is squeaking right now. Okay? So once we settle in, just settle in. Because when we're moving around, I can hear.
Okay.
All right?
It's really hard for somebody with fidgety and stuff. You know what? I've been
I'm talking
scared a
about
lot.
these guys.
Oh, okay.
Me
Good.
I
and
think
these
I was
guys.
kicking my foot.
Yeah, it's just we all have to be
Okay.
aware, that's all.
All right.
So we're,
Yeah, could you guys try not to ruin my shot over here?
I know, she's up there doing her thing. Whatever.
I'm like
doing it
nailing this
perfectly.
right now.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just starting. Okay. Can you say the question?
Sure. What is consumer health, safety, and wellness, and why are they important?
The work that we do as caregivers is really important. The individuals that we support, I can do this.
We're not even here.
I
We're
know.
not in here.
Linda, if you are seeing something and you don't like it, you can just stop, take a breath, and then start back in again too.
Because I'm trying to say what I said the first time and I don't remember
Yeah,
what I
don't
said
do
the
that.
first
Don't
time.
worry about it.
Don't do that.
This
Okay.
is from the heart.
This is from you, yeah, this is your
Okay.
profession.
Don't show my
Right.
boss this then?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is consumer health, safety, and wellness, and why are they important as caregivers? Why should people care about that?
As caregivers, we are charged with maintaining the health, safety, and wellness for the individuals who we support. And health to us and health to the individuals we support is different. We see health as being, we don't have a cold or, man.
Don't look this way. We're not here.
I'm
You
looking
guys
at
work
them
it out.
to support me.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. You don't
You're
need
doing great,
support.
so what, cause it's all sounding really good, you're just having
does.
trouble thinking about.
Confident.
No,
Because,
Okay.
connecting the dots.
Okay.
Okay.
hello?
Somebody's coming in. See, she's here for her 11:30 shot.
No. We'll be,
Sharon, do you have your cart by chance?
Do I have my cart?
Your med cart?
I think it's over in the corner. Can I come in and be an audience or not?
Well, please.
are you sure?
Yeah, I work with her. She's our health
Okay.
and wellness
She might
lady,
have
so
some
she
help.
might be
Yeah.
able to help
It's
me.
more people to
Come
be.
on in.
Well, I mean, it's up to you guys.
No, she wants you in,
Yeah.
you're in.
You can help her with answers
Hi.
if you think of
Oh, hi.
something that we should say. It's nice. We got two of us now.
Okay. Okay. I know you
But
don't
really,
have
what
a.
you're,
I know you
way
don't
you're
have a
coming
bit, so I'm
across is
sorry.
re-
Doing a good job.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Can you tell me about consumer health, safety, and wellness and why they're important as caregivers?
Consumer health, wellness, and safety is very important in the field that we work in. Individuals are really unsure of how to support themselves, how to keep themselves.
I'm sorry.
I know, yeah.
It'd be nice if we can keep it on. Go ahead, Margaret.
Okay. Can you tell me why consumer health and health, wellness, and safety, or whatever it is important in your field, and why should caregivers care about it?
In the field that we work in, we work with vulnerable adults, children, and a lot of times we work with them because they don't know how to manage their own health, their own wellness, and their own safety. And so it's up to us as their caregivers to recognize signs and symptoms, to report them to medical professionals, to individuals who can help provide the necessary care that they need. Health can be, a simple cold, or it could be mental health where they are going into a crisis. When we talk about wellness, we talk about, are they thinking clearly? Does life feel good for them? And are they able to get up every day and do the things that are that make them happy and make them feel productive? And all of that together helps somebody to live as independently as possible.
Perfect.
That was okay?
That's great.
Very good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Just keep going on that.
Okay.
Just,
So, can you tell me, when we were talking before, you mentioned about how important it was for the people you're working with to have a quality life. What does that mean? What is a quality life, and how does health and wellness and safety contribute to that?
Quality life is huge to everyone. It's huge to us as caregivers and to the people who we support. And if we want to feel good about ourselves every day and about the things that we do, we have to be safe and we have to be healthy and okay. Why is quality of life important? I didn't like where that was going. Quality of life is important to both the caregiver and the individual who we support. Can you say the question again?
How does, we were talking about quality of life, how does quality of life, or how is quality of life impacted by health and safety and wellness? And they're all tied together. Can you tell me, what those ties are, what happens, how is quality of life impacted if you're not in a safe place, for example?
Okay. We are all striving for a good quality of life, whether we are the caregiver, the person with a disability. Every single person wants to be happy and healthy and safe. As the caregiver, it's our job to help somebody who can't make those decisions safely on their own.
It was good.
yeah, just keep going. Remember, I'm showing stuff in the background.
Okay.
So I can make it so we won't have any guffaws in it.
Okay. Okay, so if any of us has something in life that is making us unhappy, it affects everyone around us. It affects the work that we do, the activities that we're a part of. And so it's important to have those three areas aligned. And as the caregiver, next question? Pass? No?
So why should providers be concerned about this? Isn't that really something that the family's responsible for? I mean, you know, I can make I feel responsible for making my sons happy, but, you know, I'm not paid to do that. Why does it differ for a paid caregiver?
We have important jobs as caregivers, and we are paid to do the jobs that we do. Along with that, we have responsibilities, and our responsibility lies where we are advocating for those individuals. We are helping them and teaching them to do things that make them happy. And sometimes we're faced with tough decisions to, you know, help them with that quality of life. It may mean, you know, a long, hard discussion about going to a doctor or going to a therapy session. We may have to, at some points, you know, convince somebody to do something that they don't necessarily want to do, because they don't see the benefit of it. But, you know, long term, we are essentially helping them. He's mad I looked over there.
No, the heater just went off.
Oh.
That was good.
That's okay?
That was very
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Until
exactly, until
Kurt.
they, well, no, I was worried though, cause I'm hungry, so my stomach is growling. At some point,
It's
Kurt
amazing
could
how
come over
loud that
and,
was,
you
too.
know,
Really?
strangle me.
Sharon,
So what,
is this okay?
Yeah, that sounds exactly why
Okay.
we do things the way we do them.
Do you wanna say this one that we came up with? Cause that kind of answered that question.
Yes.
The-
You have to remind me what it was.
Not all individuals are able to care for their own health and wellness needs. As a caregiver, you play a valuable role in
You're
identifying
gonna
and
wanna
addressing
use
those
the-
needs.
If
Yes.
that-
So the
if that heater
identifying and
came on
addressing.
or off, right in the middle of her sentence, it's really was a lot.
yeah, okay,
So that's why it's like,
okay,
And
Okay.
you
just,
can't probably
Yeah.
use that.
okay, gotcha. Well, do you want to go back?
I think you're gonna wanna go
Yeah,
back,
okay.
just a little bit at
Yeah.
least.
So what was the
Okay.
last,
What did I
Last
say?
question?
yes,
Okay,
Or even more so the last comment, because the question might have had a lot to it, I don't know.
the question
the
was,
last
why is this an important responsibility for caregivers as
Yeah.
opposed to a family's responsibility?
So that might even be that answer anyway,
Yeah.
that we're
Okay.
identifying and
Okay.
I
addressing.
think one thing that might be good to, if you can interject it, is that the caregivers are a little bit removed, so you have a little bit more objectivity, you might be able
Okay.
to see things in a different way.
but we have so many caregivers that are family members.
Well, maybe it's that when you're as a caregiver, you need to
In
step
the
back
role.
a little bit sometimes
Mhm.
and look at this, is this a problem or is it a family like dynamic thing or
Okay.
something like that? But that's up to you, Stacy, I don't.
It's hard, we're talking to such a broad
Mhm.
audience and
Okay. So I don't want to start by saying health and wellness again because I'm mid answer, right?
You can.
So I'm just starting mostly
yeah,
with
yeah,
well, I think you can say,
you talk and I'll move my lips.
Well,
'cause this is the question
Josh, this is
about
where you do the thing.
Joshua.
why should employees should be concerned about the health, safety, and wellness because not all individuals are able to care for their own health and wellness needs. As a caregiver, you play a valuable role in identifying and addressing those needs.
Care for and recognize their needs.
Care for and
Directly
recognize.
recognize, 'cause they don't recognize either.
Okay. I think that's good. Hair's good.
And recognize
Mhm.
Good, you're looking swell.
To market, so, tell you.
Okay, why is this an important responsibility for caregivers?
Caregivers play a unique role in someone's life, and we see things differently. We, even if we are a family member caring for an individual, we step back and we look at the situation differently. And if I wasn't their caregiver, if I was a medical, forget all that. We have to step back and we have to look at the individual and what is best for them. And we may have to make tough decisions. We may have to ask questions that are uncomfortable, but with the
Good timing. The
door slam. It's like I
Yeah.
knew it.
But that's okay, you can start right there.
Okay.
So why would it be a problem if you have to ask questions that are uncomfortable? What are some other things that maybe would be challenging to somebody, you're touching on very personal
Okay.
issues?
The relationship that we have with the individuals can be quite close. We have to definitely ask questions that they may not be comfortable with, questions that the caregiver may not be comfortable with, and it's, I keep saying but you'll cut
Yeah,
that
don't
out?
worry, don't
Okay.
worry about them.
So the conversation may be uncomfortable for the individual and the caregiver, but in the end, it all goes back to, is the individual happy? I feel like I keep saying that, and
Are
that,
they
but
safe?
safe.
Are they well?
Okay,
Are they healthy? Are they safe?
and maybe I just feel like I keep repeating it because we've done the same questions, but it's not going to come out like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
You don't need to edit.
Okay.
Would you just want to open the door and tell them to please be quiet?
You know how I get.
Maybe they need you to get how you get.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to go put signs up everywhere.
Oh, but I can't go if he's not. Can you say that one more time? And I'm trying not to memorize it, but.
Which one? This one or just?
Mhm.
Not all individuals are able to care for their own health and wellness needs. As a caregiver, you play a valuable role in identifying and addressing.
Okay, I got one of them.
You got one of them?
I got one. It's her. You want me to bring her to you?
What?
Tar and feather. You found one.
The answer was, there's no way you're gonna get everybody to be quiet. And I said, okay, I'm just a messenger.
Oh, so you back down.
Yes, I did. Doesn't happen often.
Just,
Yeah,
throwing
that
that out there.
I know.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay, so as caregivers, we play a unique role in an individual's life. We are able to see things and recognize things that a family member, well, that won't sound good. Okay, I don't want to make a family member sound bad.
The others.
Others, okay. As caregivers, we play a unique role in an individual's life, and we are in situations with them that we can recognize signs of health decline or illness, or that they are unsafe in a situation. And so it's the caregiver's role to step back and look at the situation and what could happen. We have to advocate for them. We have to take that information and then seek out resources. Stacy, say that last part, just the last part.
Play a valuable role in identifying and addressing.
Identifying and addressing. Okay. So the caregiver has to play a really important role of identifying and addressing those needs as soon as possible, so that an individual can get back to as much of themselves as possible.
Okay.
You just keep going.
He'll
You
piece
sound,
it together
you sound
just
really
fine.
good.
Okay.
You sound
Yeah.
really good. I'm not just kidding you.
Okay. This is not a career move I'm going to make.
Well, once you see the final product, you're gonna say
You'll make
you
me
walk
really
on water.
smart.
So do you want us to start over?
No, just.
Okay.
start after
Joshua is
that.
not even here?
Joshua's not here yet.
Nobody.
He's like right there.
It's just you and Margaret.
Okay.
All right,
So, are we ready?
yes, go.
Okay. So why would this be, the caregiver can't just say, well, you can handle this on your own. That's all about self-determination and choice and all that. Why should a caregiver step in and say, I'm seeing that there's a problem here?
As a caregiver, we are mandated reporters. It's important for us to recognize any area of abuse and self-abuse at that. And we are the people who are paid, who are expected and needed in order to help a person to recognize that they may need to do something about a certain area. Why is it important? I'm thinking too much about my words and not about the answer.
So tell me, you mentioned the role of the mandated reporter. What is that role?
The role of the mandated reporter is that if they recognize something, that they speak up. And that may be speaking to the individual who they support, it may be speaking to a family member, or it could be a medical professional. At the same time, it's responding to abuse, which I don't think we want to get into all of that, right? Because that's a separate section.
If you
Yep,
get
And if
into
you,
it, don't
if you
worry.
say all that, then Stacy will tell me later on.
Yes, you guys will remember
Yeah,
what
don't
you
worry.
missed.
'Cause I'm not
Yeah.
straying too far
You
from
just
the
keep
question.
going, don't
Okay.
worry about
Just,
Yep.
just chat with me.
Okay.
Okay, tell me again, let's start back
Yes.
with the role of the mandated reporter. What is a mandated reporter and what is that role and why is it important?
Okay. The individuals who we support who are 18 years of age or older are considered a vulnerable adult, and the individuals who we support under the age of 18 are vulnerable children. And a role of a caregiver, which may be a doctor, medical professional, a lot of community roles are mandated reporters, where if we recognize or suspect abuse, we have to report that to a county entity where an investigation can take place to make sure that an individual is safe.
Okay. How does the role of the mandated reporter then fit in, well, first of all, are family members mandated reporters if they're caregivers? And how does that fit in with safety and health and wellness?
Yes, family members are mandated reporters as well. They can report abuse as it relates to the caregiver who comes in. Is that you?
Nope, that was not.
Okay,
Why don't you ask it again?
thank you.
Okay. How does are family members considered mandated reporters, and how does that impact the relationship with their family member?
In some situations, our direct care staff, in some situations, our caregivers are coming into family homes, and the family in that case is able to observe interactions between the caregiver and that individual. And the family is very much the family is very much a mandated reporter if they suspect any abuse happening within the caregiver to individual relationship or another family member relationship. And so it can be a tricky situation because we're crossing so many lines and there's so many people involved and everyone wanting what's best for that individual in the end. And so
Okay. Let's,
ending a sentence with "so" is always good.
it'll get cut off. It's the beauty of editing. Can you tell me, when we first were talking about this way, a couple weeks ago, and before I developed the outline, you said that you can't imagine talking about this issue without the Bill of Rights and the consumer rights. Can you tell me why you think that the consumer rights, well, what they are in general, but how that really impacts safety, health, and wellness?
The Bill of Rights is designed for individuals to know that even though they have so many people in their lives telling them to do this, to do that, this is safe for you, this is right for you, it really gives them the freedom to think for themselves and to make decisions for themselves. And some of the rights that individuals... Okay.
Okay. Tell me about the Bill of Rights and how does that impact health, safety, and wellness?
I don't want to sound rude, but can he move a little bit? As I watch his face to see if he thinks it's good or bad.
No, I'm not even looking at you.
I know. Okay. Now he hates me, Joshua.
I have zero reaction.
Okay. So individuals have a Bill of Rights, which is key to their independence and to their feeling as though they have some control over their lives. And when we come in as caregivers and make decisions for them, they lose that control in life. And sometimes the only decisions they have are unsafe and not healthy and can cause them great harm. So the Bill of Rights is very important when we talk about consumer health and safety, because they may choose that they don't want to do. I think I liked everything till that point. Can we stop it at that?
Okay.
Is that enough of an answer?
let's go into a little bit more about why would people be able to use the Bill of Rights in order to
Okay.
have that conversation about safety and health and wellness. If I'm a person receiving services and I say, I will not go to the doctor.
Can I get into dignity of risk here? I'm not
Sure.
supposed to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Self-determination, choice, dignity and risk, let's.
Okay. So with the Bill of Rights, an individual has the opportunity to choose, that they want to make decisions on their own. So we may come in as a caregiver and we might say, oh, it might be kind of scary if you have, less than $80 in your checking account, so you can't use that account if you go below $80. And the individual might then go spend $90 just because that's what control they have. So with this Bill of Rights, it allows them to speak to other people, and it allows them to have that. It allows them to have dignity of risk, and it allows for the opportunity to make mistakes and the opportunity to learn from their own choices that they've made, whether it's good or bad. And at the same time, we are charged with keeping them safe and explaining to them, if you choose to have your checking account, go below zero balance, well, you're choosing to have a fee, and there's other things that come along with it. And as long as caregivers we guide those decisions, we should definitely allow for that risk.
What if somebody decides that that they're going to do something that is actually unsafe, not that they might get a fee for overdraft or something like that, but that they are somehow putting themselves, either they're not taking a medication that they absolutely need, they are have unsafe habits, they're leaving the house and leaving the doors unlocked and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How, as a caregiver, how can you handle that without saying, I'm the caregiver, so you get to do what I want?
Our relationships that we have with the individuals who we support are key. We have to develop that first before we can really make any influential decisions or choices with them. If somebody wants to go swimming and we know that they've never gone swimming before, it's our responsibility to coach, to guide. We're happy that you want to swim. That's a great choice. Let's get swimming lessons. Let's find out where the lifeguards are. It's all about that relationship, and how can we do this because we know you want to, but at the same time keep you safe.
Okay. Can you answer the same way with something that's related to wellness, let's say mental health? If you were working with a client and you really began to notice that they were becoming more depressed, they weren't wanting to go out of their house, or they were becoming increasingly anxious, how would that conversation go?
Okay. How do you want me to start just go? Or
Maybe
like an
just
answer?
start with, wellness is a big, it's a broad topic.
Mm-hmm.
And it can, it's very individualized. And then,
Okay.
you're doing great, by the way.
Thanks. Okay, so, and we're still relating back to Bill of Rights, or separate now?
I
Don't
don't
tie
think
it.
we have to tie it
Don't
into
tie
the
it.
Bill of Rights. I think it's really,
Remove it.
we're just gonna start talking about all the different aspects at this point.
Okay. Again, our relationships are very important with the individuals we support. If we look at the area of wellness, we absolutely work with individuals who may not want to come out of their room for days. They may choose to skip work. And so again, we're going back to that relationship and why aren't you going to work, and what will motivate you, what makes you happy, and really baby steps back out of that situation, and calling in for medical help when necessary. But really taking the time to listen, to understand why that individual is feeling the way they feel, rather than pushing and getting angry at the person for not doing whatever is expected that day. But understanding this is somebody who is vulnerable and somebody who does have a mental illness, and that we are there to support them and to, as quickly and as safely as possible, get them back to the health that they deserve.
Can you tell me about self-determination? What is that? What does that term mean, and why is that important in this idea of consumer health and safety and wellness?
Self-determination is a huge topic. It has a broad range of answers and definitions. I believe to Mainsail Services, self-determination means that we are allowing individuals to take part in their goals, to take part in the planning for their future. For that person to say, these are my skills, these are my abilities, these are my interests, and this is where I want to go with life. So that has to be paired with some reality and some timing issues. If someone says, I really want to, do this, that's getting too off topic. Keywords, anyone?
So how does self-determination play into the idea of healthy choices and that kind of life aspects of the choices that people are making?
Okay.
Why is it important for people to have the opportunity to choose?
It's important for individuals to have the opportunity to choose because they are more likely to be engaged in working towards a goal. If they have no piece in it or no interest or no invested interest in a different area, they won't work towards it. And the more that an individual says, my goal is to go to work every day. And that means that no matter if I'm feeling sick that day or I just don't feel like it, that I'm going to get up and go to work that day. They've made it their goal, and they might tell the caregiver, if I don't get up, please come back in 5 minutes. And then in 5 minutes, if I'm not up, then turn my light on. It's that discussion ahead of time before the morning when they're not getting up that is really saying, this is how I want you to do this that day. And so the caregiver's responsibility at that point is to then follow that. I come back in 5 minutes. Then if you're not up, then I'm turning the light on. Then I'm turning the radio on. Whatever plan is worked out ahead of time that really helps that individual who knows that they do want to go to work and that is their goal, but maybe just cannot do it alone. And so they're asking for the caregiver to do that hard piece for them.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that we need to?
Do you just want to throw in with self-determination about that each human has the right to make their own choices and sometimes suffer either positive or negative consequences, but every person has the right to lead their life the way that they want to and not have somebody making all their decisions.
So
and
kind of
telling
going
them
back
what
to
do.
like dignity of risk, but maybe
Yeah.
without saying that.
Yeah, and even that fact that, I don't know if you want to address it with the caregiver, but just like each caregiver chooses what they do with their own life, the
Mhm.
people we support choose what they do with their own life. That
Mhm.
this is a human issue, that every person deserves that. Because in your notes you have the making choices and consequences. I really like that.
Do I look skinnier now, Peter, with it pulled back?
Good ears, too.
Very good ears.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, so just as caregivers and
I'm gonna have to start on over on that one.
oh,
That was already-
I was like, what?
Okay.
Okay, maybe I need a question. Can you
Sure.
phrase that? Some more?
When it comes to choice, why is it important for people? Why does everyone have the right to choose, not just people without disabilities?
Because it's the right thing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, start out with
It
that.
is what it is.
Everyone has the right to choose.
Okay. Everyone has the right to choose, what life they live. Not all of us get to do all of the things that we want to, but we all have the right to choose to try things. And as caregivers, we, in our own lives, have the opportunities to do things that might I was gonna say like skydiving, and then I was like, why is my head going to skydiving? But
You
Well-
wanna get out of here.
yeah, I don't know why. Suicide sounds really, no.
Well, think before you start, what would be a better example that you might wanna give?
Good. Do I need to give an example? Because maybe I
No.
just need to say
No.
the statement and be done, right?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so
Okay, so we're talking about choice and why it's why everyone as a human person has the right to choose. Why is that important?
it's important to all of us, caregivers and individuals we support, family members, everyone. It's important that we have choices and that we are given the opportunity to make choices, fail, and learn something. And that's the important piece, that every time if we can take one thing out of something that we've chosen to do, chosen, I think you should keep that part in.
Well, you were giving choices there. Choice, chosen, choose. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're doing great. I mean, it's really hard to see that this is going to come out as beautifully as it is. The first time we did this, I was like, no way did we get what we needed. And Kirk kept saying, "You're good, you're good, you're good." So
Okay.
if he starts telling us we're not good, then we're gonna
Okay.
we'll stop. So. Can you tell me a little bit more about what is a caregiver's responsibility in terms of really trying to keep an individual safe? And how do you balance that against this opportunity to make choices? And what's that line in the sand where safety becomes, this is safe versus this is a choice?
It's important that we always recognize that an individual chooses, and we're at Mainsail really about person-centered planning and choosing what you.
Can I just
Don't
interject?
reference Mainsail at
Don't
all.
ever
This is for
ref-
don't.
all agencies.
I
Yeah.
did that earlier.
And
Yeah,
we're,
we put it
we're-
up.
Okay.
don't worry, I'll edit it.
Yep.
But if you could just be a little more conscious of that.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
I was like, what is going on over there?
So
She's-
maybe if you just
she's
start out with
really
safety,
in
it's
it.
really.
I can't even.
Yeah.
But that's my problem right now is I can't think about the question.
Okay.
I'm like,
So we're gonna talk about safety. So,
and how do we stop? How do we keep them safe while they're making choices?
Mhm.
Okay.
But what is safety? If you're a caregiver, what do you think of in terms of safety? Is it just physical safety? Is it, are there other issues? Is it safe relationships? Maybe talk a little bit in general about what that means.
Okay. As caregivers, we are charged with keeping individuals safe. And safe can mean a lot of different things. It can mean being at a pool where there's a lifeguard. It can mean somebody, sitting there with you while you're on a social media website. It can mean, if you have met friends from work and want to see them outside of work, we might be at the booth next door. And so looking at how do we allow an individual to create new experiences and to go off of their choices while keeping them safe, we have to get creative, and we have to be kind of their eyes and their conscience in different situations so that we can steer them clear of as much danger as we can while allowing that choice. We may have to, again, it goes back to those relationships that we have with the individuals and knowing that we trust them and their judgment. However, we also know from other experiences that sometimes bad things can happen. And we may watch a movie, we may role play a different situation where this is how it could go wrong and this is how it could go well, and let's be prepared for both. And we may find times where we can't keep somebody as safe as we want, and something bad could happen, but it's how we recover, and it's how we learn from it, and it's how we going forward prevent those same things from happening.
Okay. If you're a family member and you we had scenarios that they were using where it was two sisters who were watching a family dynamic, unfold, where the mother's was becoming increasingly, and dementia was creeping in. So as a family member, how do you manage those safety issues? At what point do you step in? What would be an appropriate way to handle a safety issue? If, say, you came and saw that the house wasn't locked when it should have been, or that a burner was left on the stove.
A family member has a tough position when being the primary caregiver or a caregiver at all to an individual with disabilities. And they are faced with being that loved one and having that heart feeling and that relationship versus also being the person who has to make sure that you're safe and that you're making appropriate choices. And sometimes those lines have a hard time crossing. And you may have to step back and look at it through different lenses. You may have to ask somebody else to come in and give their thoughts on the situation, because sometimes it's hard to separate the two, because we love our family members and we want them to be as independent and be at home, and we feel a responsibility to take care of them. However, it may not be the safest choice, and that might be the most difficult decision that someone makes in having somebody else come in.
Okay,
That's great.
Josh, I need a new battery, please.
Was that
That was,
hair's good?
you're on
Peter?
there.
Sharon, Peter will fix your hair later.
Is that gonna distract me?
Yeah.
No, it's more the facial,
Yeah, somebody's watching you from right
like
there.
wanting to know if they're like, oh, that was good, or oh, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's
And I
it.
won't
pretty
give you any,
You look at my hands though. Does that mean I'm moving them too
Nope.
much? Okay,
no.
it's fine.
Sharp.
Just go
No,
with
actually,
it.
I have to do that because of just the way I work.
Okay,
If I watch your face, I don't hear as
Okay.
well. Or listen as well, whichever it is. I
Okay.
have to focus on what you're saying.
075151. Not that this is gonna mean anything, it's all her interview, you're gonna watch every
I was
note.
gonna say,
Anyway,
you-
that's
yeah.
just, it is a new car.
he's gonna be so sick
Might wanna
of me
put
by
new
the end of
cars.
Oh, no, not
You
at
me
all.
too,
Thank you.
it. Shut up. Not at all.
Not at all.
All right, are we ready?
Here we are, rolling.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me about what happens if somebody makes a choice that you disagree with or you think will impact their safety, health, or wellness.
There will be times where we're faced with a situation where we've tried everything that we can think of to coach somebody into a safer decision. And when it comes down to it, we can't force them to make a decision the way that we think is the safest or the best. And so we may have to allow for some mistakes to happen, or for some risks, or for some unsafe choices. And with that, we just have to let that individual know that we are going to be there following that incident to help and and support. Okay, so and we will be there to help and support them and to get them through whatever may happen. You know, a lot of individuals choose friends because they have a hard time making friends, and they may not be the safest friends. And we may recognize that, and we may go through role playing, and we may go through coaching and talk about all the bad things that we know that person has done in the past. But ultimately, it's their choice, and if they want to try a friendship with that individual, they're going to do it. And it's our job as caregivers to have provided all of that education and to let them know that this might happen, and it might not turn out how you want it to, but we'll be there for you when that happens, and we'll provide you with the same support and the same guidance that we would. Sorry.
So, as a caregiver, why can't I just say, you can't do it? Sorry, can't go.
We can't tell an individual that they cannot do something, because the Bill of Rights and their ability to choose. Somebody may choose not to take their insulin. I mean, this is a common theme that we see in this field, and we can't tell them you have to do this for your health. We can tell them all the reasons why they should and all the reasons that the doctor says that they should. But ultimately it's their decision. And, we may have to at times stand there and watch while they make an unsafe decision. And at that point we may have to call 911, or we may have to call a family member or somebody else in to help us with that situation. Was that okay?
That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. One of the things that was mentioned was that if there is a safety issue and you've coached and you've whatever, but that at some point you either bring in other resources or you have to report it. Why is it important that those, whether it's a change in mental health or a change in somebody's safety, why is it important to get that reported and documented?
It's important to report incidents that may not go well. It's important to document and to report these
Try situations.
situations. Okay. It's important that we document and report these situations because we have to watch for patterns. We have to know if an individual is, doing things that are dangerous over and over, and maybe they need a different level of support or a different level of care. It's also important to be able to show something back to that individual, saying, this is what happened last time that we tried this. Do you think we should try it again? And a third reason to report is, now I'm thinking, is it bad that I was scratching my face? Okay, so, okay. And a third reason why it would be important to report and to document these situations is that we want to be able to learn from what we've done as caregivers and what did we try in that situation. What did we do that worked and that didn't work, that we could either do again ourselves or share and train our coworkers.
Okay. Can we, let's try that.
Okay.
No, it was really good information, and I think I'm assuming from this video that the whole idea of documenting and reporting is something we need to cover in this.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you forget the law? I mean, it's a law.
You want me to start quoting law?
It depends on where the
D point
services
one
are.
two
It's
six.
I mean, you could say in some cases it might,
Yep.
you might have, be legally required to.
Yeah, I think you can say that for anything in some cases.
Yeah.
You may
Oh.
legally be required to document and
Okay.
report.
But
So,
outside
but
of
now I
that,
said-
there's all these other benefits to documenting, and, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get in trouble.
Okay. So we're watching for patterns. I think I sat up. I'm getting kind of warm.
I know, that's okay. No,
Those
you-
lights get really hot.
So we're reporting because we're watching for patterns. We're doing self-feedback or reflection or training, and then because it could be required by law. I'll settle. Better?
I can't say anything around you. You hear too good. All right, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Okay. It's important that we report these situations for a few reasons. One, we want to watch for patterns. We want to be able to, discuss with the individual, this is what happened last time. Do we want that to happen again, or are there things that we can do in our relationship building or our training piece with that individual so that they don't make that same decision again? Another is that we want, as caregivers, feedback on how we reacted to a situation. What may have worked for us may not work for another caregiver, but if we're able to offer that training or that assistance to them, then it may help in a situation that they have. And another is it's at times can be legally required to report and at other times it may be legally required to report a situation or an incident.
As a caregiver, if something happens to a person in my care, if I didn't notice that they had a cold and they ended up with pneumonia, will I get in trouble?
An individual who is, I don't want to start with that again. Okay. if we find out that an individual has been sick for a few days and medical treatment hasn't taken place,
There's background noise anyway, there's an airplane.
oh, yeah, I knew that, so I was just, yeah.
It's all good. You know, is it better to intervene, to, always say, oh, they've got a cold, we should get them to the doctor? Is that something I need to be afraid of? Can I get in trouble if I don't?
Sharon would
catch
say no,
something?
right? Always over-report.
Yeah, always report
Okay.
observations.
Okay.
It's important that if we think that we see something, we think that somebody is ill or sick or maybe going on a mental health crisis, that we report it as soon as possible. The earlier that we can find treatment or intervention, the sooner the individual will get the help that they need.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
What are some ways that
Training
that-
myself here.
Okay, so what is the difference between health and wellness? To me, that seems like they're almost exactly the same thing.
Health is more related to, do you have a cough? Do you have a cold? Do you have the flu? A sinus infection? And wellness is more about your being and how you feel as a person, how you feel emotionally. So maybe I could say physically versus emotionally.
Sure.
Would that be
Mhm.
appropriate? Sharon?
Well, you could pull in the holistic piece. Wellness is more the holistic piece, the emotional, the spiritual, the physical.
Mhm.
Oh, so physical under wellness, not
Well, I mean,
Health.
and I think health is just one part of somebody's
It's
total wellness.
okay. To quote the great Sharon Parkhouse.
No.
So how do health and wellness come together, or how do they fit together?
As caregivers, we want to work with somebody on a holistic level. Health can be one piece of the whole person. Health can be, a sickness or an illness, whereas wellness can be, your physical being, your mental health status, your emotional, spiritual being. And so I don't need to keep going, right?
I don't think so.
So we have to be aware of all these elements, something like that, just to tie it up?
Okay. So we have to be aware of all of these elements that make up a person, and do what we think is, I don't need to keep going, right? I just need that one statement.
You were good.
Okay, so should
'Cause
we
I
start
keep-
from the
keep-
top again?
Just put a period.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Because
we're
I feel like I'm explaining it and I don't need to. It's just that's more of a one-liner.
Yep.
Okay, so put it all together. Whew,
Okay.
that's the hard part.
So how does health and safety actually fit in with the concept of wellness?
Okay. Say it one more time.
How do health and safety
Okay.
fit in with the overall concept of wellness?
Caring for someone is really a holistic approach. I mean, health can mean sickness, it can mean an illness, any of. I can do this.
Absolutely.
Pep talk. Okay. As we support individuals, we are really working with them on a holistic approach. Between health and wellness, there are a lot of components to it. Health can be, a sickness, an illness, and wellness can mean, their emotional status, their spiritual awareness, do you have spiritual awareness? You don't say awareness, do you?
Well,
Say
it
whatever
would have
you
been
like.
absolutely fine if you would
Yeah.
have said it, so.
Do you want to shoot me?
Tell me
right
what
now?
wellness
No,
is.
just,
What?
Why don't we change
Don't-
well, let's look at it this way. Tell me what your definition of wellness is.
Okay.
What is wellness?
Wellness is a holistic approach. It's looking at someone through a lens of spiritual, emotional, physical being, and pairing that at the same time with what is their health status? How are they? Not good at this one.
Take it from right there though,
Okay,
with the health.
so
part.
don't start over.
No.
And I'm okay saying just health is illness
How does-
and
How does
sickness?
health fit in? Yep.
Okay. And when you look at health,
Perfect.
okay. And when you look at health in there, you're looking at, is the individual healthy? Are they sick? Do they have a cold? Do they have the flu? So pairing all of that together really makes up a person and where they are at? Question mark.
That's part of what we
Sharon?
have to be aware of. It's kind of where you were, right? Just an end of it. I think you got all that stuff. I think we just need an end to the thought.
Okay,
And that's really what we look at in the whole person or something like that.
I can just say that one
Yes,
sentence. Okay,
yes.
say that again.
Well, I don't wanna put words in your mouth, but something like, and that's what we're looking at in the whole person.
Okay.
Something like
Right. Wellness is about the whole person,
that. There you
and
go.
that
Okay.
includes mental health, it includes emotional status, it includes physical health.
Okay. Wellness is about the whole person and looking at all the different areas that can affect a person.
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
That was good. There's so much good stuff in there. And
Right.
Peter will pare it right down and it'll.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Go to McDonald's? Just a quick break. What do
Jason's
you
gonna
want?
go get
Am I
McDonald's.
done?
Not, well, I don't know.
No, sorry.
What do you want from
A
McDonald's?
lot of questions. Good.
So, as a caregiver, why is it important for you to respect the culture and the ethnicity of the people that you're supporting?
As caregivers, we are there. That is our job, to be there and to support any needs, any preferences that an individual has. And so while we're on the job, we have to do things that we may not be comfortable with personally, but they are for the benefit and for the respecting the individual who we're working with.
What does it mean to respect someone else's culture? Why is culture an important part of wellness?
Wait just a second.
Go ahead.
It's her.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if you guys were still filming, sorry.
so,
We are.
what?
Sorry.
We are,
What's
so.
your-
No,
what's-
I was
what's
just
your
gonna
point?
zip into the.
Oh,
I think we should-
oh, no,
You
no,
guys
yeah,
were
no,
making
sorry.
me for a second.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Just
we'll,
missed the break.
we will be showing.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we'll find you.
I will wait.
And I
I'll
didn't
find
take
you.
my power back, sorry.
No worries.
I had mine plugged in to my.
Okay, so
Island.
why is
Why is it important to
See,
respect,
I had
how,
one too.
what is the
Did you
role
guys
that a
do it?
person's
Because
culture and
there
background
was a
play
difference
in their
of
overall
the
wellness?
adapter.
Why is it important to respect, you know, if they have come
Right,
from
I found
another
it.
country?
Somebody,
I found
Or-
it. Let's do this and we'll talk about
Okay,
it.
You
so.
know,
You have
they're
7 minutes.
proud to be Irish, and why is it important, that an important aspect of their overall wellness?
okay?
Go ahead.
We've talked about the importance of an individual feeling as though they choose what they want to do, and that their wellness depends on being able to have that say and that input. And so if we respect their cultural beliefs and their religious beliefs, they are going to be happier and they are going to feel more fulfilled than if we deny them of any of those choices.
Perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we should have been putting you under a time restriction. When you say that, or one of the components of wellness is spirituality, what does spirituality mean? Is it simply, you know, I need to protect or respect their spirituality, so we will go to church, their church on this day? Is that all that's encompasses, or is it really, you know, helping them to find those things that are fulfilling to them?
Respecting somebody spiritually can mean a lot of different things. It can mean going to church on Sunday. It can mean attending church groups or Bible studies. It can mean working with them through prayer. You know, we are going to find ourselves in uncomfortable situations for us, but it's fulfilling to an individual who we support. And we do that because that's our job, and that's what we are there to do, and that's the main piece of it's one of the it's one of the pieces that holds an individual together and holds them whole. And if that's what makes them feel, it might be through an exploration process. They may not know where they are spiritually, and they may want to find that out. And so, again, we may be finding ourselves in situations we're not comfortable with through this process for them. But again, it's our job to be that support and to be that guidance for them.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right.
Yeah.
What if it's just easier to not do that? How, what are some things that a caregiver should remind themselves of? For example, as you said, somebody really can't have pork, period,
Mhm.
in any way, shape, or form, and it's easier for you because everybody else wants to have bacon.
Mm-hmm.
What is a caregiver, what should they be thinking when those situations arise?
When uncomfortable situations arise where an individual may have to go into a church that's a different religion than their own, they have to remember that this isn't about them at that time, that they are there for the individual who we support or who they support. And it's important that we understand that. I think I could have just stopped, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
Is there a period at the end of that?
So, as a caregiver, are there any questions that you should stop and say,
Okay.
am I reacting because of something that's about me as opposed to about this person? What is making me not want to do that? Those kinds of questions. Are there anything that you would encourage people to think about when it comes to the safety and the health and wellness of the people that they're supporting?
When times come up where we are faced with doing a task that is unfamiliar to us, or we may think we just don't want to do it or we don't know how to do it, we really have to sit back and look at it big picture. And who is this benefiting? And is there value added to the activity that we're going to do today? And really, what do we want the individual to gain out of it, not ourselves?
Great. Anything that you think we've missed, Stacy, that Sharon?
When you're thinking of your outline, Margaret, of the video overall,
Yeah.
if that's that, okay.
And I'm pretty good at remembering
Yeah,
You
I
are.
think that
what
you did a
people
really
say,
good job.
so I can usually integrate that into them.
I'm just trying to think, are there any really big health, safety, and wellness things that we encounter continuously that caregivers mess up on? That are just like
What are some of the things that are part of being healthy?
Okay. Health includes nutrition, exercise, safe environments, our mental health, and even sleep patterns. And so it's important that we as caregivers recognize all of these areas, be cautious of changes that may occur at any time, and then just really help that individual to do follow-up appointments and their regular appointments as